So this is implementation methods. All right, let's get into it. So there are four main parts of implementation methods. These are called pilot, phased, direct, and parallel methods. We'll go into pilot first. So pilot is about when a new system or app or software app is put in on a small scale over time. So there'll be a group of users testing it, and they'll give feedback before it's rolled out amongst the majority of the organization. So that means there will be a small group testing. Everyone else will be using the old system, and then from the feedback from the leading group who's using the new system, they'll provide feedback for the rest of the company or business and system, and everyone else will then use the new system, ceasing the old system's use. So it's good for large organizations like supermarkets and schools. The risk is reduced compared to a lot of other type of methods. A small trained group is easy to bring together and conduct. Problems are easily identified or addressed without widespread impact on the organization, and this just allows for better targeted training and feedback. It only involves a small group of users, which doesn't represent all of the requirements and needs of everyone else in the organization. The work for the pilot group may work well, but scaling up to a larger user base might show that some things aren't working as well. For example, it might work well for 10 people, but not for 1,000. It takes a lot longer to make than other conversion methods and longer to implement as well. The next is phased. So basically the product's implemented in different stages, each covering specific sets of functionalities. This is useful for large-scale software or apps, allowing for more manageable implementation. So small parts of a new system gradually replace small parts of an old system over time. So the new system will be in place partly, and the old system will be phased out partially until all of it's phased out and all the new systems been brought in. Training for this is very good. Failure of a new system is very small. They won't have a big impact on it because only small parts are implemented at a time. Issues can be addressed without major impacts. It's controlled. Good gradual implementation. It reduces the risk of errors, and that allows them to be identified easily and fixed before the entirety of the new system is implemented. It does take more time to have the new system fully operational, which impacts productivity. Data loss can happen. Different parts of the old systems running simultaneously risk data inconsistencies because the old system won't always be compatible with a new system. The phase conversion process is gradual, which means training and support need to be used and provided by an organization. This is challenging for organizations with limited resources, for example, financial and manpower issues. The next would be direct implementation or method. So this is all about all elements of a system implemented at one go. The old system is retired and the new system is live. This is direct conversion and is a risky approach without sufficient testing. It's impossible to ensure that there are no issues with the new system. However, it is a quick and efficient method of system conversion. I wouldn't be so sure about efficient. I might have to remove that. Don't worry about that. Then we have its advantages. So it's best suited for small non-critical systems. That is because if it's a small non-critical system, there will be less of an impact if an error does occur, which is better for an organization. It costs it's like low cost. You don't have to spend training. Everyone learns all at once. The new system is implemented quickly. It doesn't cause much disruption when implementation occurs. User training is conducted on the whole system, which may be difficult to follow. They're unfamiliar with how new tasks are completed, which takes longer to carry them out, so that's not good for time efficiency. It's also insufficient testing makes it really impossible to ensure that there are going to be no problems when the system's put in place, which leads to system failures and downtime, which are not good for an organization, especially financially. Then we have parallel method or parallel implementation. This is when a new software or app is implemented with the existing system, both running parallel until the system is fully functional. Basically, once the new system gets into the swing of things, then they fully get rid of the old one. The new system will be implemented in its entirety alongside with the entirety of the old system. So things aren't phased out in this one. This is good as users can compare old systems output with the new system's output to ensure correctness. Little risk of data loss because the known system is still running. It's effective at mitigating the risk of implementing a new system by running the old and new system side by side. This is good for data comparison and validation. It helps identify and correct errors or problems and inconsistencies. Very minimal disruptions to business operations as the old system remains in place during the transition, allowing smoother and more efficient productivity to stay and maintain its place. That way, there's no major disruptions to systems or organizations. This could be bad as if there are two different systems, there's intensive data entry due to user error. So for example, a user might be putting in the incorrect information for an old system, but it was meant to go in the new system. This isn't really good and can cause a lot of problems, especially for a large organization. Running two systems at the same time also makes the organization's operation very complex and challenging, as well as those who have limited resources. This isn't good. This does require a lot of hardware and software to run simultaneously and is very expensive for organizations, especially low-resourced ones. So let's just go over the last four. Let's go over the four again. My bad. I'm stumbling a lot today. All right. In this approach, we have pilot, phased, direct, parallel. Pilot and phased are when the old systems are gradually replaced and the new systems are gradually put in. Direct and parallel are more like putting the entire system in at the same time and kind of stopping the old system altogether. So there's no no system implemented over time. All right, that was implementation methods. Hope you enjoyed. That is all. Thank you.